does seem what they've opted for, like to counter some of the picks and like tools that CCG have for themselves here. We asked for leaving some, like of course you have to leave some of the comfort open for the side of CCG because you cannot possibly ban them out entirely. So what we asked for was having specific counter picks ready, and I think that this is the strategy that Flash Forces have opted for. It. They're deciding, okay, we think that this is a very specific matchup that's really good into this lane, and I think that the only lane that is a little bit suspicious is that bot side with the Rel B1, right? We talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that if they had a very hard punishing lane there, then this could be really getting out of hand. But they don't. They have Ezreal Thresh. This is not something that really gets a lot of leads on their own, or that necessarily just like gets leads in general. Like, yeah, they're like decent with gold, but it won't make much of a difference. As finally, guys, I cannot believe it's finally happening.
Now the nurse really kicks in. Now the game started as well.
The game has officially started, guys. Day 1, week 1 of the SOE, game 1 of the first match between Flash Forces and Curtain Call Gaming.
CCG couldn't go gaming.
I am so excited. We've seen some interesting starts in terms of items from Barrow, and he's actually, I mean, I always like to talk about it because there's been some little bit of shenanigans going on, but he's managed to pick himself up an item here. He's looking strong with the Doran shield, and they're stacking as 5 around this topside river.
Something I just noticed is that the Thresh did up sadly into the Aftershock and not the Guardian.
Let's talk about the AD carry summoner spells here, though. Talk to me.
I mean, I think the Ezreal Conqueror is... oh wait, the Summoner spells.
The summoner spells.
I mean, with the TP, like, I think it's actually really fine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really see him needing like an exhaust, a heal, or anything like that because the Ezreal is so safe.
Yeah.
So if you just up into TP, they don't really have the 2v2 advantage in bottling, like in terms of fighting, because they're missing a summoner spell. But if they just scale up, I think this TP will get it to use a lot more because you can just TP to the top wave and catch the wave, and you can do some triple TP action. Ezreal can always be in the fight if there's a fight happening.
Then why the heck did the Jinx go for the exhaust? Who is Jinx trying to exhaust?
I mean, the only reason I can see is like Lee Sin Camille. But
what? Why are you
then
exhausting
again, like,
Lee Sin Camille? Like
yeah.
this is okay. Well, we're gonna be seeing if the exhaust can be utilized. I think exhausting Camille is a decent option. I think exhausting Ryze can be decent, but Ryze has phase rush, so like if you exhaust him, he gets the he gets the slow resist from proccing the phase rush, and then he just like speeds the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing jungle starts here on the opposite sides of the map. So both of them going for their blue buff first. That means that they will end up on different sides of the map first. Trundle is starting out with a little bit more tempo here compared to Lee Sin, as the Trundle is starting to finish up his wolf camp, while Lee Sin has just started it. So a bit of tempo advantage here coming out early on from the side of Flash Forces, and that might actually help them secure some early priority. But I don't think that ganking bot lane is very available to them.
Nah, I don't think either. I think it's just mainly getting the Skull Crab bot side where he has the prio. So I don't think that Ezreal Thresh without summoners or with TP will ever get the
Barrow
prio.
lands the E, but Axe Big Show is actually level 3 already, so big loss in the trade here for the side of Barrow, as they also trade Grasp. Not taking the offensive press the attack that some people like on that Camille, especially into some more tanky matchups, but instead electing to go for the Grasp.
The wave is actually slow pushing into the side of FF and the bot side. So the Trundle might stick around for a while and maybe look for a little gank in the bot lane.
But ganking Ezreal Thresh, I can't imagine many things that are harder to gank than Ezreal Thresh.
I mean, just relieving some pressure off, and like maybe the Ezreal Thresh will lose like 3 minions for it. even that is like
Ooh,
small
well,
advantage.
Ojeda is already going in, and New Power is caught out. This is the vulnerable part of this bot lane, as he's already used his flash, and Dodge will secure himself the first blood. We talked about how safe the Ezreal is, but the Thresh cannot save himself, even burning that summoner. And those summoners for the side of Flash Roses are still available.
I mean, the wave was slow pushing, so
You
I
set it up
mean,
beautifully. You set it up
yeah.
beautifully.
I mean, I'm not sure how the Jinx Rel had a slow pushing wave into CCG and then turned it into a slow push into them, but great job to them. I'm not sure how it turned out. I guess the Ezreal maybe hit a bit too many minions there, but yeah.
Well, here is the one that we call the early game king so far on this Lee Sin. Watching Kung Fu just clear his raptors has been absolutely invisible so far. But now there is a big wave that's actually stacked up for Alex Big Show coming into top lane. And the Shen W is already utilized. Now he does try to E out as the Shadow Dash is used. And there will be a kill found here towards Barrow as Kung Fu picks himself up a nice little injection of gold.
I mean, this is really painful for Barrow. Like, the wave is so bad for him, and he can't really TP up to this freeze. He just has to sack the wave, and hopefully the freeze will break. But I don't think it will.
Goodness,
If Alex
look
Bit
at
Show
this
just
up here. This does look unbelievably painful.
this will be too big to hold, I think. Though
But
maybe not.
Maybe not, as Alex Big Show is clearing him quite nicely, and he still has the TP available. So he can just look to actually like hold the wave, trade his HP to actually keep the wave in the position that he wants it in, and then TP back into the lane. Now he did mismanage it a little bit, as some of the minions did hit the turret here.
Yeah,
now it
now
will
it's slow
actually
pushing.
push into Barrow slowly. And Alex Big Show might have to TP back into this lane. If he does elect to go for that, he can probably pick himself up some nice items. He's already gotten a cheater off, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that since just realized he already got boots and longsword, so must have cheater recalled.
Well,
So I actually don't think he needs to TP back into the lane since he already got the
there is a lot of
cheater.
action going on around the dragon, and Dutch has dropped a lot of HP already. Kung Fu making his way into the pit, just looks for the kill at the moment. Flashes as Dutch also does, and now the dragon will go over as well as that kill. New Power looking aggressively, trying to sacrifice in order to pick some more kills up, but he is just dropping dead. Now the aggression is turned onto one's saltiness as I mess up my camera here, and now they're trying to follow up. Kung Fu has already landed the resonating wave, and so it will just be more kills. Barrow TP's a little bit late here into the team fight, but can he actually manage to find his way out? No, the hookshot wall dive will come out here, and this is a huge win here for the side of Curtain Call Gaming.
Look
as
at
they
the
pick up
top wave Barrow is losing. This is not good from Barrow. He is so far behind now. This is kind of the last game I'm not sure if it was the last game we cast together, but the GP into Tam Kench where the GP lost a lot of waves as well.
Honestly, if Barrow managed to stay up towards the top side instead of TPing, picks himself up the minions quickly, maybe with the help of the turret, he could probably hit that level 6. And then what that means for him is that he gets to ult down towards the bot lane instead of just using his TP. Now, he still will have the ult available for further plays, but this will just mean that whatever play goes on, he will continue bleeding resources for himself up towards the top side. Finally hits level 3. By the way, it took 3 caster minions. 3 caster minions is all it took for him to hit that level 6 spike.
Yeah, that's rough. Since you burned the TP and you lost the big wave.
And Alex actually trades onto Baron. Pretty even trade, though.
Yeah, considering there was so many minions, it's actually surprising it's this even. But
well, considering how far Alex is ahead, is it really that surprising? That
yeah, that is.
It is surprising because he didn't win it harder than that. But you're setting that up nicely. There was a lot of minions that actually did hit Alex, and now it's looking worse and worse. Nice block here coming out from Barrow to actually set that up very nicely.
Still got the ulti ready. So he could actually look into a solo kill here. He also got the ignite up right now.
Oh, but it looks really, really bad. I don't know if you know the interaction between Shen R and Camille R, but it's a funny one. It definitely is a funny one.
Pretty sure that Shen like TPs across but goes back again.
Yep. That is
Yeah.
exactly what happens. He just gets yoinked back. Now he will still give the shield, which fair enough. Shield is
Yeah.
pretty good as Kung Fu actually picks himself, or turns his attention rather towards that Rift Herald as Dutch on the other hand is trying to clear his own jungle. How do you feel about the Tiamat instead of going for the Sheen instead on the jungle?
I mean, I'm not really sure if it's actually good to go TMF. I think you
Don't.
just mainly want to go straight into Divine.
I would tend to
But
agree. I think that this is a bit of a solo queue ability here coming out from Dutch,
yeah,
where it matters a lot more to clear your jungle quickly, and that means that he falls behind in a lot of ways in the trades to just pick up pace in the jungle, and he's not far enough ahead of the Lee Sin to actually warrant that. Now, with the pushing waves, where do you expect the Rift Herald to be dropped? Oh, this could actually look really good here for Goddison. Now he can actually start to burn this mana bow, and the R goes by. Both of them flash here, but Goddison will now pick up the solo kill. Close, close, close.
that was a close one. Maybe if he flash ulted instead of
Old flashing.
yeah, if he ult flashed, then maybe there would have been a solo kill instead.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe then the damage and then an E will do the job.
Channeled Hex Flash here, as they are looking for some pressure at least towards the bot side. As here comes the Hextech ultimatum now for Alex Big Show. Barrow walks himself back into the W and then uses the Shadow Dash to actually get out. But Alex still has all of his cooldowns available, and now Barrow finds himself on the wrong side of the trade, on the wrong side of the matchup, as he's already down 30 CS, and Alex is really starting to put on the hurt. PP not available. What happens to this top wave?
I mean, hopefully Barrow would catch it, but he won't catch this wave.
He won't catch this.
I
And
mean, maybe
not
he'll
even
catch
a
like
jungler
5
to
minions
catch
of
it.
it. Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of gold that's been lost to the little top tier 1 turret. I mean, the top tier 1 turret is probably sitting at 5k gold right now.
Which is almost double, more than double, as I say that, of what Barrow has secured himself.
Yeah. I mean, Barrow's having a rough game right now. Starting up with the
Kung
Lee Sin
Fu.
gank and...
Look at this. This is a very forced play here. They're dropping down the Herald to secure themselves priority around the Dragon. So this means that now the Herald, after having been dropped, will still secure himself the turret place as the Shen comes to ult the Trundle here. But you know what that means. You know who the big
5v4.
benefactor is.
But Alex is getting so much done. He will probably get at least 2 plays from this.
And it's just a dragon. Kung Fu still looking aggressive, maybe trying to steal, maybe trying to style. Dragon does go over for the side of Flash Forces. They do find themselves at, but that has been the only thing that's been going in their favor so far this game.
It is a mountain dragon though, which is really strong. One of the strongest non-soul dragons, if not the strongest actually.
Yeah, I
So-
would tend to agree. Especially having Shen, having Trundle.
Yeah.
Oh, flash forward here by Ojeda, who's already level 6. New power, not quite on the Sigma, but the turret will just put on the hurt as he gets yoinked back, and the Ignite will secure the kill in the end. And that was a bit of an overcommit here, wasting his summoners from Ojeda, and finds himself in the grave
That was
instead.
bit too overforced for my likings. But I mean, I like the aggression. Big ups to him for trying, but
Ooh, Kung Fu. Oh, this is a beautiful Trundle pillar. Like, as
Yeah.
much as there have been things like that Scuttle Crab or Grab rather, going over to the side of Curtain Call, there have been at least some mechanics from the side of Flash Forces.
I mean, this Camille is just massive. I don't see how they're gonna deal with Camille on side lane later on in the game. Maybe they'll pair it up with the Casio, but I think Cassiopeia will even get demolished in the side lane.
Well, a fun interaction between Cass and Camille is if you're in that side lane and Camille looks for that hookshot wall dive, like that one. Once she hooks herself to the wall, she is in a predictable trajectory. And if you W where the Camille is on the wall, she can't actually reactivate her E. So that actually just does put a little bit of favor towards the Cassio. So I think that in that isolated 1v1 matchup, if both are looking strong, like, I mean, Goddison is basically on 10 CS a minute, or 9.5, or whatever. You guys do the math.
Yeah. 9
He's
point
farming
something.
very, very well in a favorable matchup. So maybe that is how they try to win this game.
I will say, I hope that I see Garrison picking up the. Wow. The Shogun ulti just came out from Camille.
Wha- uh,
Quick
oh,
jump
okay,
there.
aggressive Hex Flash here from Ojeda, who's only level 6, as Kung Fu is already level 9. He doesn't actually follow up the Sonic Wave with the Resonating Strike. Now posturing over the wall, and here comes more aggression from Kung Fu. Does still have the Flash available, but does not land the Sonic Wave here. As the Q flies wide, Goddessin managed to stay alive here.
That was a nice little sidestep. Not sure if it was an intended sidestep, but looked nice at least.
It did look
mean,
nice.
Low-key, Alex could maybe even dive the Shen
Yeah,
here.
I'm thinking about it too. Now Shen does have the W available, and
Yeah.
Field does certainly provide a lot of safety, as this time around Kung Fu looks for the play here, and actually doesn't quite kill Goddessin, and here comes the Shen ulti. The Trundle Pillar killed the Cassiopeia there!
But Cashew did get the trade kill.
This does get the trade indeed, but what was that Trundle Pillar? That was grief!
Yeah, I mean, a bit of uncoordinated Trundle Pillar shenanigans. But at
The
least it went
big
1
win
for 1.
that the side of Curtain Call give over to Flash Forces here is the Shen ult didn't go through, I believe. Oh, actually, no, it did. It did go through. He did go down towards the Cassiopeia, and so he had to TP up top lane. So this is actually favorable for the side of Curtain Call, as Camille having the TP advantage basically the entire game, and has made zero use of it so far.
I don't think Shen actually got through with the ulti. I think he was in base or something. Because I'm pretty sure we didn't see the Shen in the mid lane.
Well, my memory is certainly a bit hazy, but the end result is that he did have to burn the TP to get back up to the top lane. Nice trade here by Barrow, who finds himself in such a huge disadvantage, but at least gets a good trade or two in that.
I mean, it is actually surprising that he's being able to win a trade, but it is the matchup as well. Camille can't really do much when Shen puts that W down. He did lose the cannon there, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a classic FF.
They might look to break the mid lane turret with this Rift Herald, since they're moving 3 men towards down in the river towards the mid lane. I think they're just gonna brute force this with no Shen TP and no Shen
And
ulti.
look at when the dragon is coming up as well. 15 seconds, they get a turret, they get a dragon. This is looking nice and creamy. Rift Herald is just looking a little bit sad here, as the charge does not actually go off, as my camera for some reason decides to go off. Which you guys can't see, but that's not a problem at all. We did set that back up again, and
it looks like they will pick up the dragon here with the member advantage.
Well, now the mid-wave state is even, and Goddessin still has that TP available, as Barrow does not have either TP or ultimate. So Alex Big Show, finding himself directly on top of this, could look to TP up towards the top end. Once again, Alex actually not making good use of his TPs. Does in the end TP up towards the top side here, picks himself up 5 minions. But not a great usage of the TP so far. We liked how Alex has been laning, but the fact
I think
of
he
the
should
matter
have recalled and then TP top if he wanted to use the TP there.
Well, he does have his mythic complete, so the big spike, even though he does have 800 gold in inventory, I don't think that the recall would have been necessary. Because what does he recall with 600 gold? What does he buy?
I mean, double longsword or some, or longsword ruby, something like that.
I don't think that that is a big enough power spike to actually warrant losing out on that. As now, Kung Fu is over the wall here, and he will be the one that actually gets to follow up on the play initiated here. Tower already dead. That means that the TP is cancelled from Indract, and they find themselves the first kill here. Shen also coming in with the stand beside me, and they find themselves 2 kills down towards the bot side again. Oh my god, that stopwatch!
Really good, what's it called? What's that called? Reaction time.
Saltiness actually tries to kill the Alex Big Show here, as there is more aggression here. And yeah, the reaction time. Cassiopeia trying to look for more favorable trades, but actually loses out a little bit, or at least goes even in the mid lane trade. My god, that stopwatch. I
Yeah,
lost.
that was really juicy to watch. I do hope to see that the Cashew will pick up the blue buff and even the wolves as well.
Well, there are pings
Because
on it.
like Trundle shouldn't get his wolf or his raptor right now. He should just up into the grump and the crux it's called.
I mean, that makes the fact that he picked up the Tiamat for himself that much worse.
Yeah.
But like, we can only reminisce in what we've actually seen so far, and I think that we talked about the over-aggression from Ojeda twice already, but also twice aggression from the side Ojeda to actually lead to advantages that could not possibly just come to them naturally. So, yes, he's flipping the coin, but good supports do that. They flip the coin, they try to make it land for the side that they want it, and they try to force their agenda on the enemy, as New Power has been absolutely invisible so far.
Yeah, I mean, new power from from the last game, he was much more around the map than this game. I think he's taking a bit of a
Ooh,
chill.
Goddess and TP's behind Caliber, and he doesn't see that because it's not a controller that he's TPing on. Actually, it is, and Caliber still didn't see it. Does not have any more mana. Now, New Power is starting to approach the so the Lantern is close. He takes it, but Ojeda goes over the wall. So New Power actually this time around is there to clutch it out. Now Kung Fu has to dash over the wall, and oh my goodness, that was close.
Yeah, I thought Caliban was dead there for sure. I mean, maybe if Goddison used his flash, then maybe he could have gotten
I
the
think
kill.
so too, especially because Caliber's flash was down, and he had no mana. There was nothing
Yeah.
that he could have done. So Goddison, we want to see people not overgress, right? I just mentioned like, oh, flipping the coin can sometimes mean that you don't actually get to like live, or like it can lead to bad outcomes. But this is why we want to see aggression coming out, because punishing the enemy for its mistakes, as Dutch is sitting in mid, I guess. Punishing the
Yeah.
enemy for its mistakes is how you win these games here. Oh, nice, okay. That doesn't mean anything, as the Vision Wars now really start to unfold in the mid-game. We've had 20 minutes of a game unlike basically any other that we've seen so far in Supreme League, at least the opening tournament, setting a new precipice for what we can expect in the
I
regular
mean,
part
from the
of the
side
season.
of FF, it's actually looking really good so far. Like, the Cashew is on 2 items, the Jinx is on 2 items. Like, they're scaling really well.
I don't know about
Right
really
now.
good, as they do find themselves 3k down, but continually forcing plays means that they do actually get the flash here from the side of Indrax, who's on his Comfort Rise pick here, and even though he has looked good at other parts, I would say that he's been the most invisible member on the side of Curtain Core Gaming for a lot of their games, as Goddison now finds a nice ultimate onto New Power as the Miasma stuns him up, and now Kung Fu's caught out as well. Oh my goodness, Flash Forces is turning it around. I doubted them, you doubted them, we all doubted
Could
them
be a
in
Baron.
Twitch chat. This could be a dragon at least, and potentially a Baron. Now Barrow finds himself in a rough matchup still towards the top shot, but the Shadow Dash means that he actually just gets out from a lot of these potential trades that could go further in Alex Big Show's favor, as now there's more aggression turned towards him. Now maybe a dive happening. The hookshot wall dive connects, but the W is not available, so a solo kill picked up for Alex Big Show, as it was starting to look more and more in favor for the side of Flash Forces here, but the solo
you
kill
see
for
Goddess
CCG.
on being behind
Oh,
them.
you are correct, sir, as we see
But this
Goddison
is
walking
also a
over
Camille
wall,
that is 3-0.
but also a Camille without a flash. The Q goes wide, now the Miasma is put down on the ground, and Alex Bitcho, all he can do is walk slowly forward at the Cassiopeia and gets feasted by the snake.
This is really insane shenanigans going on right now.
Oh.
Oh, I also love that word, shenanigans. It's such a good word, actually.
I love that word. And I think it really describes it perfectly, as you doubted the Cassiopeia pick. You thought it was like kind of grief, and
Yeah,
it's
but I
been the
mean,
big member here, as the biggest
it is
member.
the big boy carry right now. From the side of FF, I'd say. Like, this is the one that you have to actually. Now that I'm
Oh,
thinking
New
about
Power
it,
is not spotted out here. Or it does not spot out Cassio, as Goddison manages to channel that recall fully. Did not actually want to go for that. I would have liked to see him try to go for that, but he did not. He
Yeah,
chooses to go for the recall. Is now level 14. Look at the gold as well.
I mean, you have your gold and your 2 carries on the side of FF. This is what you want. You have 9.8k gold on the Jinx and 9 point something on the side of Castro, and they're both sitting at amazing CS, 8 plus CS. This
Oh
is
my
spicy.
god. These people are actually CSing well. This is
Yeah,
crazy. I'm so
but I
happy
would.
that the quality of the league has turned up so much. What do you want to see?
I mean, I would have loved to see that they would have taken the Nash after the mid lane bot side jungle fight.
Well, now
Since like
New Power might actually give that over as he drops as the first member of the fight. Now the Miasma comes out and stuns up Alex Big Show, who goes lower and lower. And now Kung Fu is trying to trade something back, but the availability of the stopwatch means that he just drops dead.
oh my god.
Oh, flash forward here from Saltiness, who's trying to look for the aggressive play onto Kaliba here, as there are more flashes, and even though Ezreal has flash, has Arcane Shift, you cannot possibly flash away from 5 members.
I mean, this is the Baron going over to the side of FF now.
You
This
wanted to see
game
it.
really took a turn. I would have loved to seen that they took the Nash instead of the Cloud Soul before, but I mean, they get both now, and it couldn't be more perfect.
Oh my goodness, the stakes are raising, and I can tell you the blood pressure on the side of CCG is rising as well, as it's starting to flip for the side of Flip Forces.
I mean, if you look at the items on both carries, like look at the Rise items right now, he's sitting at 1.5, I'd say, even though he do have the 800 gold healing reduction item.
Which
But
is a great item, right? It's a really good item. But what you're saying,
yeah,
what are
I
you
mean,
telling
yes
me?
and no. I mean, the Casuals have 3 items, the Jinxes have 3 items. Like,
oh my god.
this is looking really doomed from the side of CCG. And yeah, I'm not sure what they will do to come back from this. It just seems doomed. They will just go in a 1-3-1. I think even the Camille can't win against the Casio right now, and I think the Shen can hold on to the Rise. I think Shen will actually even get pushed and might even actually win the 1v1.
He does have himself the Anathemas chains, so like
Yeah.
the item builds are so good here for the side of Flash Forces. I'm sorry, I must have been a
Who
slip
do
of
you
the tongue.
think
Indrax
it actually
does
goes on the theme as
I think it
without
definitely goes
looking?
on Camille. Now we
Yeah, I'd
can
assume
check,
so as well.
as I don't
It's
see it
not
on
a-
the Camille, as now Goddessin will be aggressed on by Alex Picture, but once again he's just slowly walking at Cassiopeia. Is Kung Fu also gonna drop? No, he does get away with
And
the
they do
ward.
get the
Oh
inhibitor
my
and
god,
the
they're
inhib
getting the
in mid
inhibitor
lane.
in mid lane as well. The Baron buff utilized so effectively. Now here is why we like to thresh into the Rel in a vacuum, as the hook also connects, but Zil is gonna drop dead because the range of the rockets mean that he just cannot get away. And now here comes the center side as they're trying to crack open the base, and they're trying to actually finish game number 1. As this is taking a turn for the worse for the side of Curtain Call Gaming. We gave them the draft win. We gave them the win
What is on
in the
live?
first 15 minutes of the game, and now they're cracking open the Nexus turret. They're cracking open the skulls for the side of Curtain Call Gaming, and that means that Flash Forces are sitting at 1-0.
What an amazing game. This is also the league's fastest win and the fastest loss.
I don't think it's the fastest win, actually. I think that.
I mean, in terms of the actual league and not the opening
Oh,
tournament.
true. This is literally the fastest win we've seen in the regular split. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this was an amazing performance from the side of FF. A bit of a shaky early game. I do have to say that. The CCG side looked a bit better in the early game, but in terms of the mid game and the late game, like, I don't really need to say like how much FF actually dominated that.
Yeah, I mean, and we were so wrong in our vacuum analysis of what they were trying to do, and I think I like being proven wrong, because I think
Yeah.
this makes it so much more interesting. I love to see when teams upset what we talk about in draft. Like, I told you, I was drafting last night, and I gave them the draft win. But they did not take that. They did not take what we set up as a precipice, and rather they played for their win conditions. And what do you think made the biggest difference in the end?
I mean, I think the coordination from FF and the Cassiopeia pick, like even though without it, the Cassiopeia pick was actually insane
Hmm.
into this game, and I think that the laning phase from the Cassiopeia also had a really huge uh, impact on the game because she was setting like 30 CS up
Hmm.
already from minute like 7, 8 minutes into the game against the Rise, and yeah, I think we just saw a hell of a lot more coordinated team from the side of FF compared to the side of CCG.
And like that's so interesting because like everything was going in CCG's favor, everything.
Yeah, that's the interesting
And
part
then they
because
just kept going in bot lane, and then they kept going in
hmm,
around the map, and Cassiopeia just got to scale up for free.
yeah, and there was also some like when they tried to kill the Camille in no, not the Camille, the Cassiopeia in the mid lane, 3-1 where Trundle pillar killed Cassiopeia.
Mm-hmm.
Like even that, the Cassiopeia got
Still got a
a
kill.
skill out of it as well,
Yeah.
and she got the Lee Sin flash, and Barrow obviously lost his TP, but I don't think that would have been inevitable since he didn't actually TP in with his ulti in mid lane. But I mean, just all of these small things that when the bit wrong could have been the decider of this, honestly.
Yeah. Um,
Especially the play in mid lane where they traded 1 for 1.
I think you're setting up a very interesting precipice because what you're telling me here is so different from what we usually expect to see in games like this. Um,
Hmm.
and that excites me because this is us seeing a very very good draft. And I think ultimately the Ezreal wasn't that bad. Like it was actually pretty good, especially with how much
Hmm.
pressure was actually put on them down towards the bot side. Um, but in the end, it couldn't convert, and that meant that even though they had such a good draft, they found themselves the early advantages. What Flash Forces had planned actually worked out, and that is precisely what we asked for against the side of CCG, because they have gotten the Lee Sin every single time they play. They get the
Hmm.
Rise constantly, they get the Thresh, and they get another Camille. But it didn't matter. There was a clear plan here for Flash Forces who come in prepared, and I just love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll see some Casio bans this draft, this upcoming draft,
Hmm.
because that Casio was really deadly and it did make the decider, in my opinion at least. And maybe even the Trundle as well, since his pillars like some were a bit grief, one of them at least, but some of them were really good.
I
Like
think, yeah,
on the, I saw a few times on the Noob part where he hit a really a lot of good pillars on him, and just even on the Lee Sin in his own jungle at topside, like just having that pillar and blocking that road, like Lee Sin had to walk 3 seconds from the Grom to the blast cannon,
mm.
and I mean Bundle is also strong, but we'll see what they will bring out as in bans and picks.
I think that the pillar in mid lane was obviously hilarious, and like yeah,
Hmm.
it did end up going 1 for 1. Um,
Yeah.
but even though we say that, the fact of the matter is, he found so many good pillars in great situations, like towards the bot side. He used what
Hmm.
he had that we don't necessarily like to see those Tiamats, but it ended up meaning that he was there whenever his team needed to, and he's been the big unsung hero. Um, we didn't really sing the praises of the Trundle in the game. It was us talking about like Barrow losing top lane but trying to play the weak side, which I think happened
Hmm.
very effectively. But there were some pretty sus things by Barrow. I'm not even gonna NGL to you.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like at the first time he died on the freeze in the top lane where Lee Sin came in at level 4 and Like there, you just have to drop the wave and then wait for the Lee Sin to recall, and then I mean they do kill him in the way of XP and gold, anyways, but it's 300 gold less that he loses, that he gives away to the side of CCG. But I mean, overall, a really good game from both teams. CCG with the insane early game, and then FF with the insane mid game and late game. So I'm excited going into this next game as well.
I think Goddison has been sort of the epitome of what we've seen so far from Flash Forces, which is someone that is extremely confident, even cocky to a degree. I think that's fair enough to say, but when he comes out and he puts on performances like he does today, he certainly backs up his talk. He's not just talk.
Yeah, I mean, Dodge also proved Kung Fu a bit wrong there, where he's with Kung Fu's shit talk about that the substitute jungler Olaf Kingdom is better than him. So maybe we'll see some shit talk from the side of FF after the BO3.
Curtain Call banned the Syndra once again. Last time they did also ban. No. Why
is Volibear being banned again?
I guess this must be. I think this is a top lane specific thing, because I do believe that Alex Big Show actually really likes the Volibear top lane, and I think it might screw up some of the picks that Barrow might look for.
I mean, maybe.
Are we gonna have the same bans? No, we're not. Here's the Cassiopeia ban. So this is.
In terms of his OPGG,
I can tell you right now,
doesn't have a single Volibear game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I was convinced. I can tell you right now, CCG first picks Lee Sin, and then Flash Forces will just go Rise Rel.
Yeah, probably.
And then
definitely the Rise.
We will see a new pick from Indra. Oh my god.
We see the Viego.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
no way.
I've been excited for the Viego.
No way.
I hate Viego, but it's fun to watch.
This is CCG feeling forced to whip something new out. This is them literally going away from the pick that is Kung Fu's identity.
Maybe FF will actually pick up the Lee Sin and show Kung Fu how to play it.
I wanted to see that in game 1. Please pick Rise, by the way. I mean, going Nautilus is fine. It's way better than blind picking Rel on B1, by the way. Like, even B1 Nautilus would have been totally good, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred to see the Thresh instead of Nautilus, to be honest.
Oh, Morgana's open.
That is true. And it is fairly good against the Nautilus.
Oh, and why don't they just go Morgana Rise here? Hello? Is anyone in the same draft? Am I like lagging? What are these teams picking? Why are you drafting Olaf into Viego?
I mean, here comes the Rise and the Morgana, yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm in the correct draft. Oh, woo.
I mean, the side of CCG seems to be drafting a bit better than FF, but
for sure.
As we saw in the last game, FF can still battle this out. And
they might have specific ideas, only because I think that this is not what I want to see. By the way, they're going to ban Shen. I can tell you right now, they're going to ban Shen here.
Probably, yeah. Most likely. Probably the Shen and Jax. No, we have a Jhin.
Oh no, this is them thinking wrong. This is them like... Oh, wait. No, this is them trying to bait out a Jhin ban. I think this is them hovering over the Jhin so that... What?
You do see the Jhin ban. Okay.
Oh, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I messed up the teams. Yeah. They're gonna ban Jhin Ezreal for the side of Flash Forces. But don't please ban Shen though.
I mean, we could see the Caitlyn pick from CCG,
Yeah,
like the Caitlyn Morgana pick lane
as well.
is really insane.
Also,
and even
Caitlyn
Jhin Morgana
really
as well.
good into Nautilus in terms of laning. Yeah, there's a bit of struggle. No.
Ooh, the Beres ban, I don't like that.
Huh?
I mean, like, why would they ever play Varus into Olaf Camille?
Yeah. Into Olaf Camille Nautilus.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much of a small HP bar on that side, so Varus lethality isn't really gonna have much value. And we do see CCG banning out the Caitlyn, which I think is...
Oh wait, it's Flash Forces picking up the Camille. I'm so stupid. Like, my brain is totally going wrong here. Why did they ban Caitlyn, man? What?
Yeah, I mean, there's some questionable bans and picks here.
These guys gotta stay up with me until 9 a.m. or whatever drafting.
Until 5
okay.
a.m. drafting.
Yeah, this is not okay. We gotta have some draft coaching in this.
I mean,
I think
do see the
Kai'Sa's valid.
Yeah.
Kai'Sa's a
We
valid
might
pick.
see Galio from the side of FS just to have that insane Camille Galio combo. But then again, they already have Morgana as well to
Do you think Galio
counter
is
it.
good enough into Rise?
No, I don't. I mean, it's mainly just about the team fight, right? Because right now, into Rise, there's like 80 champions that is really good into him. Corgi, some high range Velkas.
I think there's actually few champions that are good enough into Rise, and I think the problem that Galio would have would be that he doesn't have enough wave clear to actually like use his ultimate, because the Rive just permanently out wave clears him. So what I would like to see is Twisted Fate. I think Twisted Fate would be really good here. I think it also makes sense with the Olaf. I think Silas could be good as well.
I don't think Silas would be good. You don't really have that many good ultis. You have the Renekton ulti, Morgana ulti, and that's about it. Rise ulti for like quick map rotation, but I mean, we do see the Seraphine, which is... I mean, I can see what they want to do with it. It's like Olaf Camille. They want an enabler for Olaf as well.
Yeah.
And
we love that, but it's just surprising, right? Because we set up Goddessin as the big carry.
Yeah. I would have loved a bit more of a carry mid laner. Maybe even actually, if they just pick Seraph here, then they have so much poke. And
I love Seraph, actually. I think Seraph is actually really, really underplayed, and I think especially into Syndra and Rise, Seraph is really good.
I think Seraph is really underlooked as well.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's not really that strong in the meta at the moment, but the meta is also... But I mean, it's just about the mid lane picks in the meta right now. Everyone gets counter for Seraph.
Because it's so funny, because it used to be all about the jungle picks, and then everyone knows what everyone picks in jungle now, because we've had the same 3 to 4 to 5 champions in the jungle over and over and over and over in every single game. It's just like the different mix of the 4 champions. So that has actually put a lot more focus on mid lane. I think that teams around the world are starting to understand how good Rise is. He has so few bad matchups. So when we have something like the Seraph that isn't necessarily super strong, or like the Cassiopeia that isn't necessarily like super strong in the meta, but that is specifically good into what is good, then that automatically sets that as a like standard for the meta.
Yeah. I mean, it's also interesting because in today's draft, both these two games, we've seen a lot of like jungle mid lane support prio, but last game they played, they had really high bot prio. Like they B1, B2 bot lane and R1, R2 bot lane in the last game. So it's not either they just did the homework and realized bot lane is not the prios anymore, which they haven't been for a long time.
No, they have not.
You
say that, but EDG Viper actually won LPL, so let it be known.
That is true. I mean, the Leona, like the support picks, some of the support picks are really high prior in the LPL. Like the Leona, it's pick a band first pick.
Yeah.
Which is also understandable. The champion is so broken, but I mean, when do we see a TF game? Also, by the way.
TF Cannon. I asked for TF and Cannon, and neither has been picked up yet. I'm just a little bit sad. I think that the Camille is just a good answer into Cannon. So I think that maybe on the side of Flash Forces, you could look for a Cannon instead of the Camille, and then ban the Camille instead of banning Varus.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
if you have Nautilus, Olaf, Kennen, like that is equally good. I guess actually the Varus does stop the Kennen. No,
Mm.
now that I think about it, like it just
It
gets a
does,
little bit
but
quirky, and like it gets so much into theory crafting in general. So what we can
mm.
work with is what we have in front of us right now. So let's actually
Yeah.
take some time to talk a little bit through some of the lane matchups, because I don't think with a single word we've mentioned the Renekton so far.
Nah, and I also think Renekton is really bad champion, even though I know it's really high prior in the LPL. I haven't really watched a lot of LPL recently, but just a few months ago it was the first pick every game
Yeah,
or banned out. But I think
I
it's
think
a really bad champion in general.
people have really found Countess to
Hmm.
what's considered like the safest blind pick top laner, and
Yeah.
like yeah, it still goes neutral in like 90% of the lanes, but people have found
Hmm.
out how to counter that champion.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you just kite it out, and then it's just kind of sits there and don't really do anything. Just
I
tanks
think
up a
Camille's
bunch of
really good
damage.
into Renekton as well.
Yeah, like on the side lane later on, Camille will demolish Renekton. Like once she gets 2-3 items, the Renekton HP goes from 100% to 50% real quick with a quick choker ulti. And but I mean, the aggression in lane with the Renekton Viego, it could set up for some like nice dives. And even with the Rise coming up as well, maybe they slow push, uh, coordinate the waves and slow push them into enemies so the Rise gets a free roam, and then there will be 3 stacking waves on top of Camille's tower, and then maybe we'll see a Viego for Rise be there to dive it as well.
Don't get me wrong, I think that Curtain Call definitely has, like, if I were to value this and give both of them numbers, I think that Curtain Call did, quote unquote, win draft, as
Hmm.
like we saw how much that means last game, winning draft.
Yeah.
But I don't hate what Flash Forces have drafted for themselves. I'm
Nah.
surprised by some of the things that they have gone for, like the Goddess and Seraphine. But I think this is a lot more even, and I'm curious to see how that will unfold in the game. Because we asked for lane priority to actually stop the Rise from what he wants to do. And I think
Hmm.
even though Seraphine is an enchanter, she actually has a ton of priority in like wave shelf.
Yeah. I mean, now that I'm looking at the side of CCG, I don't really. The Vayne pick is like kind of questionable in my opinion.
I think this is someone that has been forced away from what they would like to go for. I
Hmm.
don't understand why they just don't go for the Ezreal again. I think the Ezreal here would be
Yeah.
fine, would be good. And like,
I mean, maybe they want some more power in the ADC because
but
Vayne is really
Viego,
good at kiting back.
but Viego has been changed, right? So like, you kind of have
Hmm.
to go for the crit build now, and I think that there is enough crit damage coming out from Viego, like enough physical
But it's
damage
also true.
forced on the enemy. So I think that the Ezreal, that the Vayne is sort of playing a similar role to Viego, and I think, interestingly enough, if I consider how these two champions move around a team fight, they have very similar ideas of what they want to do. Now that could mean that they link up nicely and that they actually synergize, because that synergy can be really important, and it's something that a lot of people actually lack. As Saltiness
Hmm.
once again goes for the exhaust, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's for the Viego.
This time this time I think the exhaust is great. And I mean, last time
Hmm.
he won with it, and I think it's even better now.
Yeah.
Because it makes so much sense into Vayne. It makes so much
Hmm.
sense into Viego. Um, is there anything else that surprises you in terms of runes or what did I just watch? How did he hook outside the base? Did you guys see it? Did you see that?
No,
Ojeda was standing in base, Nautilus queuing, and there's the base gates, and it just goes through? I didn't know. I thought it would hook to the wall.
I guess that the barrier isn't actually a wall, so it doesn't attach onto it, but he can't go past the barrier.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's how the interaction works.
I would have thought it was coded the way that like the base gates like down here, for
Hmm.
example, are coded. And
Yeah.
I'm just intrigued. But guys, we are set. We're going into game 2 of Curtain Call Gaming versus Flash Forces. As Curtain Call Gaming this time around find themselves on blue
We,
side.
we
Okay.
actually see them again starting with a control orders instead of 2 pots, which
You
I
like
think
it?
is. I mean, it's basically just saying we don't want to fight you. We just don't want to fight since we can't really because I have no pots. But I mean, it depends where she puts it. It really depends.
True.
If she puts it aggressively, maybe in the bush, like next to the mid lane turret ward.
Zill is still in mid lane here. Interesting start here from Zill as they're faking the leash. But there has been no vision placed. So,
This is a Viego wolf start.
ooh.
This
Nice
is
that
some
you spot that
spicy,
out.
spicy.
I
passing.
think CCG is pissed. I think that they have a statement to make here. And it starts out with not going for the Lee Sin, but the Viego
Thank
instead.
God he goes Grump instead of Blue Buff. Oh my God. I love this passing
This is
now.
great. Okay, I'm impressed. I am impressed. We
Yeah.
set the precipice that Kung Fu is the best Lee Sin player, blah, blah, blah. He loses on it, and he's like, but watch this, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring out the heavy guns now. He probably says.
As I managed to actually
Barrow.
find out that Barrow wins out the early trade here, already making the Camille look good in that sleek skin.
I mean,
Oh my god, I missed
What?
first blood. I'm so sorry, guys. Apparently, there have been no summoners used, and Saltiness just kills Zill.
Oh, this
But
is
now
a
Kung
dead
Fu finds
Camille.
himself up towards the top lane and flashes in and finds the kill. So it is now 1-for-1.
and Morgana still hasn't used her control lord, so I'm a bit like. I'm a bit confused on why she
None of the
didn't
summoners were
even-
used. The camera didn't
Yeah.
even move. I apologize for that, but it's like so strange. This is. Did he DC? Did.
I think we're gonna have to go back on that later on into the game and see that first blood again.
Well, maybe. Actually,
Maybe
I
at
can do
the
a
end
little
screen.
bit of a thing here. I mean, this is going to be unusual as we're going to actually go back and look at this. The first replay, guys, I'm sorry, this is a little
Okay.
bit scuffed, but this is just what we're going to be
Yeah.
doing right now because I cannot believe what actually happened down here.
But he gets level 2. He hooks onto the Morgana. And Vayne doesn't. Oh, he doesn't flash the W.
Okay. Well, let's just go back into the game here.
Yeah.
As I saw a blue line appear, and I will
Yeah.
pretend that I'm super excited and definitely did not expect that there will be a kill in just a couple of seconds.
But. Oh, is
The
this gonna
kill
on
will be Barrow once again because he gets stunned up, and
God.
Barrow is just a lamb to the slaughter here because Kung Fu has set his camp up towards the top lane and finds a second kill.
This is a lot of time spent from Kung Fu in the top side, and he doesn't get punished for it because the Olaf was passing top side.
Oh, nice
and not
hook
bottom
here by
side.
Ojeda as New Power this time around has a flash and oh my goodness, Saltiness does not quite find the kill even though the passive proc. Now here comes the exhaust as the Caliber is kind of trying to body block for Azil as he gets hooked backwards and then has the flash available. So both of them actually managing to stay alive, but Dutch is not so lucky. But the flashes aren't available and Indrax is not going to be in range as Goddesson slows him up, and now Goddesson has no mana. Barrow trying to look for the kill, misses the W here as the Heartbreaker does not find its target. Goddesson is just going to interrupt the recall. This is pretty funny to look at. As he is also out of mana now.
Ooh, this is a spicy early game. There's a lot of things happening. I would love for the Viego to up into the top side clear instead of the bot side first, since those are already respawned. Just to maximize his pathing.
Well, he has still not taken his red buff, which is...
Yeah, that is
We
also
talk
true.
about how much we love the Viego pathing, and ever since we stopped talking about how good we thought the pathing was, he didn't take a camp for 3 minutes. 3
Oh, he
minutes
got
is
2 kills.
he did. He really did. Like, don't get me wrong. He did find 2 very nice kills and almost found more. But it's just different. It is very strange. It is very interesting. Goddison now still having the TP available and having not reset means that he does get the later reset, which is certainly nice for him here, as he has about 900 gold. And we have a pause, guys. I should have went back now. They're trying to give me the time to actually.
Yeah, this is unlucky that we get the pause now, and we didn't get it earlier. But
Oh my
I
god,
mean,
this is a crazy game, by the way.
yeah, this really is.
Let's go back and actually see some of the action that happened. Because now that we do have the pause, we can actually see that Kung Fu finds Dutch as that bot side play happens and they get away. And they're trying to stun him up, but he has a nice flash over the wall here. And as he's trying to... Oh, they're not quite dealing enough damage because the healing coming out
It's
from
actually
the
the pot that
Olaf with a
saves him.
W. My goodness. And then Kung Fu just missing.
I
Wow.
think if Kung Fu doesn't charge his W instantly and just runs up a bit with the E movement speed, then he can maybe actually kill.
Well, it's been absolutely crazy as the dragon is still available at about 5 minutes into the game, and it's an Infernal Drake.
I mean, I really love the pathing from Kung Fu at the moment. He took his Raptors as well before his red buff, as we can see on the minimap, just to get that timer down, so he doesn't have to do red Raptor Crocs. Maybe he could have done that, but that's like less time with the red buff in terms of on the map. I think the best path would probably just been instead of going to the bot side, just full clear from top to bot. Take your Grom, take your Wolf, and then take your Raptor, red buff Crocs.
Well, we can actually, like, at least like this, we can see that while he does take his Raptors over here, we see that Olaf is already down here. They spot him on the ward, so they do know that that is the Olaf down there. So if we go back just a couple seconds, while we wait for the pause, sorry guys for this. Actually, he clears the ward, so they are aware that the Olaf is gonna walk into this bush when they do see it. We do see that the Viego is making his way over here, and then we do spot that the Olaf is actually seen. Kills the ward. Now Viego is down towards the bot side. So what that ends up meaning is that even though they see even though they're trying to look for an aggressive play down towards bot, they're not actually quite they're not quite sure what the hell else is going on.
No. I mean, from this, the side of CCG can take out that Olaf didn't clear his camps yet, his bot side camps. After his recall, since he does have the 29 CS. And
well, talk to me a little bit more about why, or like maybe we can make this a bit more educational. And like, you're obviously a very good player, and I want to hear
I'd say so
from
myself.
you. I want to hear from you. How do people actually track junglers? Like, what do you do?
Looking at how much CS they have, because each camp is 4 CS, so you just add that up. Usually when you spot them at Scuttle at 3:15-ish, some a bit earlier, they will have approximately 24 if they did a full clear, 20 CS if they did a 5 camp clear. Some will only have 16 if they did a 4 camp clear. And then also just whoever gets to lane first in terms of the top lane and the bot lane usually didn't give a leash unless they make like some, as this side of CCG did, fake leash and they do solo start the junglers. But I mean, just mainly like tracking the CS count of the enemy jungler is how I usually track it.
I mean, there was a very famous jungler in North America. I think it's season 3 or 4 or whatever. So like, not just in North America, but also just like, really, really that much worse back then.
NA back then was actually like a fine region.
Back then, I'm talking about Saint Vicious, who said, yeah, but counting how many CS the enemy has is too complicated for him, so he just doesn't do it. He can't do the math. Professional NA jungler.
He can't put the 4+4+4+4.
Actually, back then camps had like individual CS scores, so it was even easier to track.
Oh,
Because you would do wolves and you'd have 3 CS. You'd do blue buff, you'd have, because the camps had mini like other
mean-
like mini things.
low key. I think that might actually be a bit harder, no? Because then you have to constantly track, like, because then maybe he will have, let's say, 15 CS when he's being spotted. Then you have to like add up whatever. Then you have to look at each individual number of the
But
camp.
you
how
know
much-
each individual number beforehand as well. This makes it harder because you can never quite be sure which, like, what the 4 CS means. Whether he did wolves or raptors, you can't actually tell that.
I mean, I guess yeah, that's also true.
So, like, yeah, it might be a bit harder in counting, but like, it's literally just counting,
Yeah.
and that is where the meme, like, sort of originated from. And we do see some trading between Dodge and Kung Fu, as they both have some forms of lifesteal, but who will steal the life from the other one? As Kung Fu flashes himself on the wall, now Indrax is under some scrutiny as he tries to look for Dodge, but all of his skill shots actually going wide means that, oh my god, Kung Fu almost gets killed by Goddesson.
That was spicy. I mean, that's really unlucky that Kung Fu level 1 HP.
Oh my god, but Zill is finally roaming. We've asked for this last game, and finally he's found himself on the map. But it doesn't actually lead to anything, because his jungler and his mid laner are so far away from this dragon that even though he is here in mid lane to hold the wave for his mid laner, that's all he does. He's just holding the wave. Picks up the CS, because supports deserve some love.
Yeah. They need some CS as well.
I love this main skin, by the way. I think it's really pretty.
Which one is it even?
It's the Sentinel one.
Oh, that's the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the first time I've seen it. It kind of looks like the old Shen when you had the Q activated.
Oh my god, yes. A little
A
bit,
bit
yeah.
of a flashback for the OG players.
I
In the
mean, I
chat.
just talk about an NA jungler from season 4, so I think that what you're doing is more than fair.
Yeah.
We see press the attack here on Vayne. You think, I mean, some people like the Halo Blades. What do you think makes more sense?
I
in which
mean,
scenario?
I think that press the attack is probably better for what he wants to do. I think the Halo Blades is more about trading in lane rather than doing good in team fight.
I mean, we see
and
the
since-
press the attack, we see the control worth level 1, so I think he's really opting out of that. Like, trading in lane. Aww. Aww.
Oh.
Sad. Sad B emoji. As
Yeah.
Ojeda actually standing on top of a ward, but Dutch, interestingly
And he
enough,
should know that now since the minions just
but
attacked
he's
them.
just walked over the ward, so they are fully aware of what's going on here, as there is some trading going on. I believe
They
that the
might
Blackfield
look
has
for a
come.
bot dive here on this
They
stacked
might
wave.
finally a bot dive. This is crazy. I've been asking for this for a long time, and I believe that one of the teams to do it the most effective so far has been CCG, but now they are under scrutiny. As Calibur's hiding behind the tower, but he's just going to go down to Saltiness, and the tanking of the turret aggro is just beautifully done.
One question, where was the black shield?
I have no idea, to be honest. No idea. Alex is looking for some damage on towards Barrow, as now Barrow might find himself on the opposite end of the dive. They're recalling on the ward here. Kung Fu picks up enemy red buff, but Barrow does actually manage to channel his recall fully. Now he does not have his TP available, so he's going to recall twice within a very short time frame.
Honestly, they're looking for the rift hold on the top lane turret.
Now this is trying to trade some
Oh,
pressure back. All of
he
the
got
plates
the
going
all-
over to Viego. This is
I
good.
actually prefer this way.
Yeah,
because
heavily.
The Renekton is like bad champion.
But now Goddesson and Indrax are making their way up towards the top side. And not only does Kung Fu get the plates initially, but then Renekton knocks down the rest of the turret. And this is getting more and more interesting. These two teams are pissed, as I mentioned. Both of them have something to prove. If Flash Forces come in today, they're like, nah, we didn't actually like play in our full strength. And even though they're not playing with their full roster yet, I believe.
Yeah.
They have
I
a
think
lot
this
to
is
prove here.
Yeah. I mean, they look really bad last time. I gotta keep it real. But we do
Ooh, but
maybe.
Ojeda is in a very, very good position, and Zil with a very late black shield flashes, but the goddess and auto attack
Oh,
finds him and gets
I
stunned to death.
hate that Seraphine auto attack
Oh,
with
I
the
hate it.
passive. It's so long.
Yeah.
It just extends like 3 meters away. You do see the Olaf picking up the red buff, so he didn't lose as much on the bot lane dive as he could have.
Well, once again, we see that there's a clear difference. No, not another
Another
one. This
dive.
would be so exciting. This
No,
time
they
around,
need
we
to
do
push
see
the
two
wave.
TPs actually coming out, and Barrow interrupts the first one. Now, Indrax will still TP down here, so the action will dissipate for the moment, as Kung Fu is trying to look for a dodge. But Dodge is trying to turn it around. Seraphine finds the ultimate on the Viego, and now the Kaiser goes, and actually, the traded kill is not quite there yet, as Olaf will live, and there is just 2 kills for the side of Flash Forces, and CCG might have some advantages up towards the top side. But EDG Vipers bot lane meta is coming back.
I mean, this is really interesting plays going on. I'm not sure why. Mm, I don't like the Renekton TP since he's not far enough back.
And
And the
like you
Rise
didn't
TP,
even have to use Camille ult, right?
yeah, he just eat him and then
Yeah.
Q and ran away. So
Barrow is set up as the weak side player and continually finds himself on the weak side as well. Dying in 1v1s, getting ganked, getting dove, losing CS, having to give up waves, having to recall over and over again. But his team
but
finds advantages everywhere else, so that he sacrifices for the good of the general public. And you can say what you want about, oh, we don't have a lot of good top laners in SLE. I mean, a lot of people are echoing that
Kai'Sa might
sentiment.
snipe here.
You think?
Ah,
Oh, no, no,
he's
correct.
not throwing it. I was looking for that. I was ready for that W.
Well, my
I mean,
camera control has been a little bit troll today, guys. I do apologize. But yeah, I was just trying to say that Barrow is certainly playing the weak side of the map. And having someone that is able to concede in a good manner so that you can find advantages elsewhere is just winning them games so far, as we do see them sitting at about 1,000 gold. Now 1,000 gold, not a huge lead. I think the Viego is pretty stacked if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he does have one of the most
Olaf
amounts.
is only 200 gold behind.
Oh my god, but
Another
maybe
bot
once
dive.
again another bot dive, as this time around it's just a 2v2. He eased the Kai'Sa back, and they're just flashing forward, both of them finding the kill here, and now more summoners, more abilities, and more damage onto Zil, and now
Maybe
Indrax is here. Rise might be dead as well. He's kiting away from his turret. In the meantime, we do see that top dive, but it will be a 1-for-1 so far. Goddessin, oh no! Dutch actually finds
minion
himself.
blocked that?
Oh my god,
What
this is
happened?
just crazy, and they get aced.
I think.
Oh no. Oh.
Did he get minion blocked or some shit?
Well, we're in the pause, so I guess we can go check. Guys, this has been a
After
bit
he
of
picked up
crazy.
the Seraphine soul, he
Yeah,
just
he
stood there
looked.
for
He
a
just
second.
stood there. He didn't actually. Oh, now he's like he did clear that on a ward as Goddessin makes his way up towards the top side. Barrow chooses to go in for the play initially, and then Alex is like, but I can actually go on towards him and kill him. Now he does not have the flash. He does have the flash, but he can't actually get out. And yeah, he's stuck because the minion that we see there actually finds a dive that went so terribly wrong. This is crazy.
Yeah, that was a bit too deep after he flashes away. Uh, I mean, if you look at the item advantages on the bot side of the map, like the junglers is a bit even, the basically even. They even. The top laners, the Renekton is a bit ahead in the builds,
I see that they're
actually quite a
typing
lot.
in. I see that they're typing in chat. They're like, "Oh, but the Viego was bugged," and we went back and actually looked at what happened. So I don't know if any of the
I mean,
admins are talking to
it
them right now. We saw that it wasn't a bug. It was genuinely a minion that actually found its way and snuck
yeah.
in between the turret. So there was no bug going on. It did look very, very crazy, and we didn't understand it in this situation. But um,
Like also the item advantage in mid lane, like Seraphine got her completed mythic and is 1k gold up. She got
yeah.
her 3 stacks on the Dark Shield, and in the bot lane is the massive lead. Like Kai'Sa already got
Oh
Kraken
my
sitting at
god, what?
2.5k gold. Like she's
There's
3k
almost
up.
3k difference in gold.
That will be 3k because they will get this bot turret as well.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it will be even more than 3k, like 3.3 or something.
That
Never mind, the
is
first
no,
turret was already
it's
done.
not that much. But like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
yeah, the
be
first
close
turret
to
was already.
3k. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean top
this
lane,
is an
weak side for the for Flash forces, but they
yeah.
just continue finding advantages on the other sides of the map.
I mean, this is where we see that the weak-sided side of FF is stronger than the weak-sided side of CCG in
True.
terms of how much gold they're behind.
Well, we're still waiting for the pause to end here. Sorry for the delays today, guys. It's been a crazy day, and it's been the first day, and I'm
Yeah,
just so happy to be here with you. Like, how amazing! It's just sitting here and being able to watch these games as they unfold in front of our eyes, and we ask questions in draft, we ask questions in game, and we will continue to ask questions in the interviews that happen later on. Um, but I'm just hyped. I'm so entertained. Like, if anything, this is so entertaining.
yeah. I mean, this is lovely. Like in reality, I should have been at the club right now drinking, but there was a cancellation, so
I mean,
I had
my
to cancel
Saturday
for this.
plans have also been cancelled for SLE. Guys, I am sacrificing here. Of
Yeah.
course, it's Friday today, so like
Hmm.
XD,
It's
smiley face.
Friday. It's like the song "It's Friday again," which is one song that I also was listening to before this thing, just to get into the mood.
To
Like
get high.
it's Friday, we need to have fun. It's a good evening, and we have an amazing game from the side of CCG and FF. And hopefully, the side of CCG will turn this game around so we can get a game three. But it's not looking too good. Like they're 3k, FF is 3k up, and it's all in the bot lane, which is really rough. Having a Fed ADC is really hard.
And not just a Fed AC ADC in general, but someone like the Kaisa. And I think especially into
Hmm.
this, especially into this comp, I think
Yeah.
that
I mean, also just paired up with the Camille, the Olaf, the Nautilus, they all want to dive in with the Kai'Sa as well. And then the Seraphine to give that long range ulti. And you can even pair it up with like it's really hard to coordinate that, but like on the Kai'Sa flying in, then you can pair it up with the Seraphine
Seraphine
ulti.
ult. Oh
So
my
it goes
god,
through the
yes.
Kai'Sa while she's flying
You
in.
don't even have to be so creative about it because you can literally just
Hmm.
say, Olaf, run in.
Yeah. Exactly. Or
Because
Camille
nothing
ulti
stops the
the.
Olaf.
Hmm. Yeah. And it's not like they have big burst in the side of CCG to quickly burst them down. And plus, he'll have a Sterix gauge as well. He'll have the Gordringer, and he'll be a big beefy boy, big beefy Viking. Um, I mean, I think low key, not to be too rude or anything, but I think the game is over at this point.
Mhm. Well, let's talk about how CCG might come back. Because
I mean,
it's not quite over, right? I mean, you're saying that because
obviously
in your
not.
like in your opinion, and I think that is very valuable. But like, what would have to happen for them to actually come back here?
I mean, I think they need to get some picks with the Morgana, and then give some gold to the Vayne so she can kite back into this Camille, Olaf, Kai'Sa, and Nautilus while they're diving in because Vayne is really good at kiting back. And if you have the Morgana as well, sitting on top of Vayne, pressing the ulti so they can't really run directly at Vayne, it will be really rough to stop the Vayne. And with the Rise as well sitting next to her. Um, I mean, the side of CCG got a really like close uh team fight comp where they stack up together and then you just jump the first guy that goes in and then you get a Viego pass reset and then if it's even in gold from both teams then Viego should most likely be able to carry after that first reset since Viego reset is really broken even though they just nerfed it, but I still think it's way too broken.
Okay, so the Morgana is responsible for finding the first pick, right?
I
Um,
mean, yeah, she's the main CC. I mean, maybe if like you can maybe use the Rise W, the Viego W, the Vayne E to like pick someone off. But just in general, they need to find some picks around the map. Maybe even go like 4 man to get a big shot down or something like that. Be creative and just try your best to get a lead back.
They have one of the
Because if they
most
just
interesting playmaking tools in the Rise R, right? The Realm Whip can be like
yeah.
probably one of the most creative ultimates that you can have to set up plays in a macro way.
Hmm. I mean, we've seen it from a lot of pro teams. They just go 5 man mid lane at a stage like 27 minutes where Baron is up, and they just push the wave in, and then they 5 man ulti to the Baron pit, and then they insta burst it, and a lot of times they just get the Baron for free
True,
because
actually.
of it.
True, actually.
But I mean,
That,
you can also use it in terms of going 4 man for like a side lane,
mm.
get a pick there, and then 3 man ulti back to the mid lane to save that wave
I
and
mean, you
save
could
that.
potentially, like, you're talking about saving the wave, but I think you can catch people out really, really well if you're teaming up
Yeah.
Ryze, Viego, and Morgana. The Ryze doesn't even have to go with him. He just like,
Mm.
bye bye. He's like sending
Just sending people away.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be amazing. But like that requires a
Mm.
lot of coordination. But I think that they have that available to them. So that could be
Yeah.
something that we see.
I
As I
mean,
think I think we found a solution for the
mm.
bug, or for whatever happened. Because I mean, we checked on stream. It wasn't really a bug. It was just a minion pathing differently than you would expect it to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we found a solution. So now we're just waiting for the pause to end here. I'm sorry, guys, but thank you for waiting anyway. What kind of items would you like to see to like facilitate those picks? Like, what do they need to have
I
in their
mean,
inventory?
I think the Viego needs his directs, of course. Broken item, bruise item. We also see the Viego going for the bruiser build and not the crit build. Also think that it is the best build at the moment just because the bruise items are so broken. But I mean, the Rise needs his what's it called? The AP item that rules people. Everfrost.
Yeah,
I hope to see the Kaiser goes into Phantom Dancer, and then into a lot of Dominic's. I hope she doesn't
I
go
can tell
Collector.
you right now, it's gonna be collector. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to ruin the mood, but this is gonna be
Hopefully
collector.
it won't be Collector. I really hate Collector. I think it's the most useless item, and not the most useless, but one of the most useless items in
Yeah.
the game.
I mean, it's definitely the most overrated item.
Yeah,
Like, it
I'd
might not be
agree.
so you, but it. Oh,
I
we
mean,
have the
it still gives.
classic bug, guys. I hate this.
Oh,
But,
please
oh.
don't bug out. Imagine that if we couldn't see the
Okay.
remain.
No, I think it's all good. I think it's fixed. We
Yeah.
only had 30 minutes of pause, guys.
Yeah, I mean that's also fine.
It didn't feel like 30 minutes, to be honest. Like, it just
No.
felt like we just got to talk more on the
Hmm.
podcast.
Yeah, we had a little mini podcast today. It's really, it's lovely.
It is. It really is. CS numbers across the board. Obviously
He
advantages.
doesn't go Collector. Thank God, she's actually going Phantom Dancer. Oh my God, it's fucking lovely to see. I mean, we do see the Kaiser with the most CS in the game at the moment, sitting at 126 at 15 minutes, which is about 8 CS ish. So I mean, the Vayne CS is not surprising. She is lacking a bit because of the rough laning.
Of course, the Camille on the other
I
hand as
would
well.
love to see the mid laners have a bit more CS. And off the side of Alex as well, he could also have at least 8 CS a minute. He's probably sitting at 7.5 ish.
Well, there
I mean,
have been
so.
some like. They haven't really found the advantages that they were really looking for towards the top side, and they're now transitioning pressure over towards this 15-minute Herald. This typically tends to be an objective to set up for Dragon Control, as instead of that, Kung Fu tries to look for Dragon Control by finding a pick directly in front of Remo comes in here, but Kung Fu finds a solo kill onto the Seraphine here.
And this is what we were talking about. This is what the side of CCG needs to do. They need to find these picks on the side of FF that is walking alone.
Ooh, Barrow is starting to turn this matchup around as the Cho'Gath R comes out.
Yeah.
And now
I mean,
this is just looking worse and worse and worse. And another Cho'Gath R, this time Actually, Alex will try to trade back, uses the ultimate. Bit of a miss here from the wall dive from Barrow, but this is looking not so good for the side of Curtain Call Gaming. Oh my god, the hook actually connects onto the vein here.
I do see in the chat that we have a little bit of chat, or they have a little bit of chat about when Collector is better than Lord Dominic's. And I think you were the one that said that Lord Collector has a small window at level 9 where it's actually better than Lord Dominic's.
Yeah.
Which is the only stage of the game where it's actually better.
Well, they
Every
are
other stage
already at level 10, so XD, smiley face.
Yeah.
No, it is now a top lane dive after bot lane dive, bot lane dive, bot lane dive. It's just gonna turn around. Nothing is going in favor of Curtain Call Gaming anymore. And even though we found the pick that they were looking for, that they had to find, now they are the ones that get picked. Goddison has the red buff and completely whiffs
just
on this
misses.
you know. But the Kai'Sa is moving in, and she still has the killer instinct available. If that W connects, if the prey Void Seeker, right, connects, then she could look for the pick. But Zill actually pathing in such a way that actually allows the side of Indrax to feel comfortable here. And now the Herald will be placed up towards the top side. This will mean that they find themselves a tier 2 turret. Tier 2 turret is the most valuable turret in the game. It generates about, I think, 1.7k gold. It's insane. It's actually insane how much gold tier 2s give. And they
and
might
the solo gold you get from taking the thing as well. Like taking the solo tier 2 turret gives you 550 gold, and I think it is. We also saw that they got 325 gold each. So much gold, yeah. Like that's a kill each.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, just from taking a turret.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to see, right? Implementing some gold and turret and actually rewarding split pushing.
I think especially champions like Camille are the big benefactors of it.
I mean,
and
top lane champions in general.
True, but there are some champions like the Cannons of the world that tend to not feel too comfortable in those split push scenarios, and I think there's people have been asking for a change, as we are asking for picks from the side of CCG, and they're trying to pick themselves up the dragon here. They've brought both top laners down here for each team, as Ojeda is sitting in the bush, and there is 2 controllers actually in the dragon pit, as it is an Ocean Soul, which means that we also have an Ocean Rift. So there is actually a bush inside the dragon pit, and this means that the control what's sitting inside this dragon pit will allow the side of Flash Force to go for this dragon right now. As Ojeda is a little bit caught out here. Morgana Binding also connecting, but they're trying to turn it around, and with the Black Shield already forced out, means that the depth charge from Nautilus will find that. Here is, oh my, what just happened? I think the Camille just got blast coned out of her own ultimate. Nice little interaction, but Kung Fu will still fall. On the other side of the map, we do see that Ojeda is being aggressive, but Kai'Sa finds the second kill of the fight, and Ojeda is still alive, still kicking, finds the dredge line out. New Power utilizing the stopwatch to at least save some time, but he can't save his own life, and Kaliba is shedding aggressive, and Ojeda is even dredge lining it in, and he's trying to survive. He's still living. Alex finally finds a kill, but so far, it's a 5-1, and it's just not good. It's just not good enough.
That was really spicy. I realized this is spicy a lot.
But it is genuinely spicy though. Like,
yeah.
What else can you say? You used, like, the first time you said beautiful, and now it's spicy.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautifully spicy today, what we're seeing here so far.
Something I do not like to see, which is not spicy at all, is that Kai'Sa is opting into the collector.
Never
with
lucky.
the pickaxe and the longsword.
Never lucky.
I mean, you could maybe still go
what is the pickaxe?
IE.
Oh, IE?
Nope. There's the collector.
Nope, there's the
I was gonna say maybe she just wasted the gold on the longsword and actually wanted to go IE.
No.
Well, she just wasted 3.2k gold, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's 3k gold. It's
I
not.
mean, the Kaiser Q does synergize very nicely with Collector because you keep procking,
Yeah.
like keep having the ability to like proc Collector more effectively. So I mean, you know the like we talked about the oh okay the hook goes wide and the Morgana binding does as well. So both supports missing their important skill shot. As Dutch actually is in base because he's just reset us, so Kung Fu tries to find a kill here. Hard Seeker Strike as Kaiser is in the backline, already finds the Killer Instinct. Now there are two TPs here from the side of CCG to try to turn this player around. They shut down the Kaiser, and the Rice actually goes over to get that kill. The second kill of the fight will actually also go over for Viego here. And the third one, Alex Big Show now finding himself in a little bit of scrutiny as it looks like there is going to be more and more trading. The Gold Drinker comes out and actually heals himself a boatload as Barrow tries to find the kill in the end. Dutch, on the other hand, is trying to look for the kill on Kung Fu, who's sitting in that hallowed shroud. Nice. I don't think it's the hallowed miss. Alex actually managed to survive, so a 3 for 2 for the side of CCG. Find themselves at least something, as I'm telling a lie. No, I'm not. 3 for 2, but pressure still goes over to the side of Flash Forces.
I mean, the Viego got a 1k shutdown though.
I think it was right.
Oh yeah, you might be right actually. That's probably was probably right.
Both of them would be good. Like, it definitely is a target that you would want that gold on. Alex and Barrow now trading because Barrow is now actually ahead in level, and you can really feel the double buffs coming out. Now, that means that the Realm Mob coming in here might actually force Barrow to try to trade aggressively, but he's just getting continually CC'd up, and so the hookshot wall dive will not actually find himself the kill, and the Ignite does not either. But this means that they've invested too many people down towards the bot side, and Barrow once again playing weak side and setting his team up for success.
I think this is actually a good trade.
Oh, Hida's hook goes wide, as this time around, Kaiser once again just swoops in. Black Shield already down means that the Death Shard and the Dredge Line will find the second kill, and Saltiness just keeps getting gifted gold.
I honestly think it's a good trade to get the kill on the Camille, because the Baron to the side of FF is inevitable.
I don't think so. I disagree with that, but I like the way that you're thinking about it.
I just think.
Go on.
I just think that Kaiser's too strong at the moment. They can't ever fight 5v5, so. And I think that the next play was for FF to go for the Nash anyway.
I like trying to find that pick. Like you mentioned that the way that they come back into this is definitely through picks. So it's not like they don't get anything, right? But I think already the gold that the side of Flash Forces has gained from that Baron. Oh, nice blast gun interaction there. Goddison actually managing to get out.
Kung Fu also used his flash there to try and get the pick on Goddison.
Pain.
Yeah. That's a lot of pain.
Well, none of the TPs are available here for either side, as the dragon is respawning now. So that means that Goddison has less tempo here than the side of Indrax, as Indrax is actually trying to set up for a play around the bot side while answering the dragon already started up from the side of Dutch, and okay, the Saltiness is here to put some of the deeps as the Jaeger Mist comes out and there's no flash, so I mean, a little bit sus that the Nautilus is the one to secure.
Yeah, really sus actually.
But
I mean, they got it in the end.
They did.
Oh.
Now a lot of recalls, and they do have that Baron empowered recall. So this actually gives a ton of tempo here.
I think if Kaiser W hits Renekton, he's dead. Actually, maybe not. She does not blood Dominic, so.
Well, she is starting to build into it, at least.
Which I don't like. I think she should just tell the collector buy a lot Dominics and buy probably a chain vest towards the GA.
So we mentioned pain when the Viego loses his flash while trying to chase the Seraphine. You know what else is pain?
Kaiser build.
The Morgana inventory.
Oh my god, I didn't even know this. Yeah, that is painful to watch. Oh my god.
Oh, and the binding goes wide as well. It's just pain. Now Viego does have the ultimate to try to get away, as the flash from Dutch now will go down, and as he loses that, at least something is traded back on 600 gold from a turret. 600 gold from a turret. That is 2 kills. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit my mouse. work item.
I mean, this is really rough from the side of
I think
Morgana.
someone in
This is
chat said that that he sold a stopwatch, which isn't true, because that was a what is it called? The perfect timing
the
stopwatch. As now Indrax will flash forward, but Barrow does a ton of damage, and so he just like does a bit of damage, a ton of damage, and then gets out.
Yeah.
As the top side T3 turret will fall, and the inhib does as well. And now the Baron has timed out. But with the Ocean Soul, we haven't even seen that was the Ocean Soul. I mentioned it at least. Oh my Goddessin with the movement here. Spicy bit of utility as Indrax is trying to trade some damage back. As 3 flashes instantly come out. Boom, boom, boom go the flashes. And boom, boom, boom is going the Renekton here as he is sent out of the room. And they find themselves yet another turret and yet another inhibitor. The flash forces flash all coherently, and that was wild.
It was really unlucky that Alex didn't get the insta W off on the Kaiser there. She got the flash before.
And now he's back to full HP, and Saltiness, oh my god, that auto attack chunks the Rise here as a nice stopwatch. Means that the Viego can't get the reset, and here is the exhaust, and that means that with the Seraphine ultimate also connecting, everyone from the side of CCG will fall here as Curtain Call Gaming falls to Flash Forces that want to make a statement here. A statement that only because they might have lost a single best of one in the opening tournament, a 2-0 puts them up with the first win of the tournament and the first win in the Supreme League Europe. What an exciting game we got to watch today.
Ooh, a 2-0, really making a statement here with the not even the full roster yet. They still had a full support, which to my understanding was at least, since I'm pretty sure that they have a guy called something else that I don't know the name of.
Well, it has certainly been a different name today, as maybe we can get an interview with one of the Flash Forces players as they find themselves their first win in the Supreme League Europe. And not just their first win, the first win. The fastest best of 3 that we've ever seen in SLE. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is also the first game, so they will break all the records there is to break. I mean, there's also the fastest first blood in one of the games. I think it was actually in the second game was the fastest first blood at around 2 minutes and 10-ish.
Well, let's talk to Saltiness here, who has to justify his crimes for going collector third. How you doing, Saltiness? As I can, hello, my boy.
Hello.
You here?
Hi. Yeah, I was just muted by default in the channel.
Yeah, in the other channel. Yeah. Justify your crimes.
Okay. For the collector, we have a Renekton with a lot of CC, but we have a lot of burst and control. And I wanted to be sure that whenever he's getting low, he won't run after me at any time. Plus, they did not build armor at all while we were by far ahead in terms of golds. So I was like, okay, let's push my advantages and let's go for a bit of lethality.
I like it. You guys win your first best of 3. You are the first little first victors in the Supreme League, and you get revenge, bro. I said that your drafts looked losing most of the time. I think that you had a very specific idea. What did you come in with today? What was the prep like?
Oh, the prep was like, okay, we lost to these guys, and it was clearly because they were not playing our full composition. We had 2 substitutes, and they were going into a lot of trash talking. So the plan was like, okay, we want 2 clear win, 2 stomps. We do not try to invade or do funny stuff, and we know that we are better than them, and we have definitively enraged jungler. So the jungler was like, okay, I want to kill this trash talker and show him that my sub is actually better than you, and that's the point. So the game plan for the first one was like, okay, we're just going front to back. We know that they love to play Lee Sin Rise. Actually, that's why we did not ban the Rise and the Lee Sin, even when they play it each time that they can.
Yeah.
we were like, okay, we know that the listen is not impacting in the game anyway. Like, just Rise is going well for the setups. And so we tried to play around that. We know that there will be a lot of pressure onto the mid, so we wanted to have a strong lane on bot to having some sort of power farming jinx.
Mm.
And we put a Cassiopeia, which was actually wrecking the mid lane also. But I told you that you have to watch the mid laner last time you asked me for.
Yeah.
So that was a plan, like legit front to back, and they cannot shove on us, and we know that Lee Sin won't be able to find a kick or something because we are playing around it. So it was perfectly fine. And bonus on the top, the Cassiopeia was doing 1 versus 2 top lane. Like, just stop killing everyone. You are the weak side now. Just wait. No, no, don't. Okay, double kill. Fine.
Fine. I guess we win. Cause like early on in the game, it didn't look that good. Like like you had some struggles, especially up towards top side. And I think this game as well. Like you're clearly putting weak side on Barrow, and I think like Barrow can definitely feel that. He goes down in CS, he gets solo killed, stuff like that. But you're finding advantages consistently everywhere else, and then Barrow comes in and like he's just Shen at the end of the game, or he's just Camille at the end of the game, and he just Cho'Gath ults someone with his Q.
On the matchup on Kami, we were like, okay, we cannot have the resources of our jungler going top because anyway, Renekton will destroy Kami until she's getting to scale. So the plan was clearly not to play on Kami on this one. And yeah, the captain is amazing at this, playing from behind, and he did find utility anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Shen TP that were denying the split push from the Renekton or from the Kami, that was just too much. And yeah, Kami took one turret and a half and some kills, but whatever, we were too far ahead and going into a front to back, they could not cross anyway our front lane. So
this is so beautiful to see, like, because you guys had such a clear idea. You had an understanding of what you wanted to do because you thought you were better, and you had like you told me, watch mid lane, watch that mid lane guy. I watched that mid lane guy, and he popped the hell off in game number 1, right? Like you told me, okay, I guess he gets a double kill top lane, and then in game 2 you completely flipped the script. You go for a Seraphine mid. What happened here?
Okay, second game was like, okay, looking at the draft, now we want to demonstrate that we cannot play only front to back or doing flippy things, and we actually wanted to practice a bit the dive composition. So we went into a dive with an Olaf jungle, and the Olaf jungle pick was a bit late into a Viego. We were like, okay, so you want to perform, you will have to have resources. And that's why Seraphine, that will peel Seraphine, that will allow us to have a proper engage, like the ultimate into 3 or 4 person. And clearly we have a jungle mid composition that just destroyed every team fight and destroyed everything on the map. Like, we were not contested on any objective.
Okay, well, Jonas, do you have any more questions?
I do have to ask, is you support Uyeda, or however you pronounce his name, is that your like main support?
Yeah, but actually he's playing from Brazil. That's why he was late. He's on 6-hour delay and he's playing with 300 MS. And sadly, we might need to find a fix.
He's from Brazil.
Wow.
No, he's from Europe, but he has to move to Brazil for studies.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Is it pronounced, or I mean, is it a Portuguese name? Is it Ojeda or is it Ojeda?
I have actually no idea.
What
Like,
do you say?
I think you can hear my French accent. Support. Yes, support. Nautilus. Come. And this guy has a lot of accounts. Oh, and by the way, that's Rod. This Rod guy, he did have to swap accounts because he did not buy Rel on his main accounts because he's a student, so he cannot afford Rel.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Jonas, any last questions? Any last things?
Now I forgot all my questions.
Right. It's been a pleasure to see you guys completely upset whatever expectations we set. And this has been really, really hype. You looked absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being so talkative, giving us some insights. And I hope to see you guys win more. Good luck in the future.
Thanks.
Day 1 is over, and we have finally kicked off the split, Jonas. It's been a pleasure. I think we're
this pleasure's on my side, mate. Like, you're doing an amazing job. I'm just happy that I can tag along on the cast.
I'm so happy you're here with me, and we're going to be coming back tomorrow. We'll see who casts which games. Until then, guys, Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Have a good evening, have a good night, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.